Hello, hello, welcome to the new point that is 1.1 liberal, radicals, and conservatives. In the earlier point, we have seen the social changes started to taking place in the Europe. Then, how the social changes taken place, which people were involved to take the social change, which different streams were there who worked to bring the social change. About them, we will see here the liberals, radicals, and conservatives. Some of the important political traditions of the 19th century, that is the liberals, radicals, and conservative. Then who were the liberals, who were the radicals, to whom they called conservatives. About them, we are going to see. In Europe continent, these three streams were there. Thinking schools were there. Thinking streams were there. That is, one was the liberal, one was the radical, and last one was the conservatives. In the first point, we will see about the liberals. The liberals were who were liberals? To whom it is called the liberals? Liberals wanted a nation which tolerated all religions. Liberals, that kind of people, they want, they were interested. The nation should tolerate all religions. There should be respect to the all religions. The another thinking of the liberals was they were opposed. The liberals were opposing the uncontrolled power of the dynastic rule. The uncontrolled autocratic power which used by the dynastic rules or the monarch, it should be controlled by a political body. That was the demand of the liberals. Then they argued for an elected parliamentary. They were asking for the elected parliamentary, which will control the power of the dynastic rulers or the monarch. They argued for an elected parliamentary government which will be subject to laws interpreted by a well-trained judiciary. They want the well-trained judiciary also. What was happened after the French Revolution in the France, the constitutional monarchy, which was well interpreted by the independent judiciary. The same was asked by the liberals in other regions of the Europe also. They were liberals, but they were not Democrats. Maybe they want control on the ruler. Maybe they are wanting in the elected parliamentary. They were interested for the well-trained independent judiciary, but then also the liberals were not Democrat. Why it is called? Why they were not Democrat? What are the blames on them? Why it is called? Because they were not favored for the universal adult franchise. Vote to right to vote to all. It was not favored by this group. That is why it called they were not Democrats. That is the right to every citizen to vote. They felt men of property mainly should have the vote. They were thinking right to vote should get only to the propertied men, not women. So this is the blame on them, and that is why it is called they were not Democrats. They also did not want the right to vote for the women. This was the thinking of the liberals. This was one group in the Europe who were taken lead in the social change of the Europe. They were called liberals. Now, the second group, that is the radicals. Radicals means they were interested to bring complete change, radically change. There should be no any restriction in the social and economical change. This was the main interest of the radicals. Radicals wanted a nation in which government was based on the majority of the country's population. The government should be made by the majority. It means in the democratic way. Majority representatives should get right to rule in the country. This was the demand of the radicals. Many supported women's suffragette movement. Many radicals supported to the suffragette movement. Suffragette movement, right to vote movement, which led by the women. This is the women's suffragette movement supported by the radicals. Means they were Democrat. Understood? Liberals were not to the women and non-propertied men also, but radicals were ready to give the right to vote to the non-propertied men also and women also. They disliked concentration of property. They don't like the concentration of the property in hands of few. The property should be usable to the all. It was the thinking of the radicals. So they were opposing or they were against of the concentration of property in the few hands, not the existence of private property. The private property should be no there. The property should be used to the all. This was the thinking of the radicals. They opposed the privileges of great landowners and wealthy factory owners. The privileges, special political rights which used by the wealthy people or some political people. For this also the radicals were opposing. The privileges were getting by birth on the base of birth from which family you born in cause of that one is getting the privileges. That is why these radicals were against of this. They were thinking that society should be intellectual, not on the base of birth. Now this is another group that is called conservatives. Then who were conservatives? Conservatives were believing in the traditions. They were against of the changes. Conservatives were opposed to the radicals and liberals. So these conservatives were against of the radicals and liberals. They were believing in the traditional views. They resisted change. They don't like the change. Whatever is happening, let it happen. After the French Revolution, however, even conservatives had opened their minds to need for changes. After the French Revolution, these people opened their minds for the change. Little bit changes these people accepted after the French Revolution. Earlier of the 18th century, these conservatives were opposed to the idea of change. By the 19th century, they accepted that some changes was inevitable, unavoidable. We have to accept it. That is inevitable. But believed that the past had to be respected. But they were believing to respect the past and change had to be brought about through a slow process. Change can be take place, but it is in the slow process. Immediate dramatic changes are not good. This was the thinking of the conservatives. They were respecting the old age or the old traditions. Such differing ideas about social change clashed during the social and political turmoil that followed the French Revolution. Such differences were there. The various attempts at revolutions and national transformation in the 19th century helped define both the limits and potential of the political tendencies. In this way, the people get idea who will control the political and economical strength of the country. And these people made changes in the Europe. These were the three streams of the thinking. They were the liberals, radicals, and conservative, who were worked very well in the Europe during the 18th and 19th century and brought different changes. Then how they lead the changes about them we are going to see in the next part.